I built a few of these little intermezzo into the program because many of the people who Joe has interacted with over the years and who have been deeply influenced by his work could not be here with us today. So before we take a little break, let me just share a couple of reflections from abroad.
Dear Joe, congratulations on your retirement. And thanks for your long effort as a leading member of our community, of your work with Electronic Literature Organization, and also of your fantastic work with starting up and hosting, editing the Electronic Book Review for so many years. It's really a place where many of us, including me, have found a home for our various writing. I think it's so important for the community that there is this place where we can go and find, real high quality stuff on in the field, and it's so well edited and also experimental, open, online, and it's been there, forever. It's an amazing effort. And then lastly, I would also say you're always very attentive person that have good questions, and you're a good listener, and in that way also you've really been fantastic in inviting people in, including people coming from in the Danish provinces and stuff. So thanks a lot, and again, congratulations. Hope to see you soon.
Dear Joe, hello. This is Jan Bates from Leuven in Belgium. It is my great pleasure to congratulate you with your retirement. You know, or you may know, that I retired myself 2 years ago, and I was always convinced that you were at least 20, if not 30 years younger than I am. So it was for me an enormous surprise to discover that we are now partners in crime. I hope you will enjoy your retirement as much as I will do. But I have to warn you already, as a retired professor, you will have even less time than before. Nevertheless, there's not just these congratulations for your retirement. I would also like to express some words of thanks for everything you have meant and you continue to mean to me, both as, let's say, a scholar, an editor, a critic, a reader, and above all, a digital humanist. Since for me you represent for me what is the ideal today of digital humanities, namely a kind of creative mix between traditional humanities. You are a wonderful close reader. You are a scholar, most wonderfully attentive to everything which is also very important to me, the cognitive dimension of literary text, the interaction between text and image, etc. You manage to blend that in a very organic, natural way with all the, let's say, the challenges, the affordance, the challenges, the possibilities, the achievements of the digital turn. You have done it from the very beginning in EBR, Electronic Book Review, and I don't have to repeat you how important the Electronic Book Review has been for me and continues to be for me. For me, it's really a key, not just a key journal, but a key site in the field. Not just in the field of digital humanities, but in the field of humanities and art and science studies in general. But the same, let's say, qualities of EBR are also exemplified in the rest of your work. And it's not just me who is saying this. I can guarantee you that all the students and the colleagues who I have permanently recommended reading your work can confirm that, let's say, the idea of acknowledgement, recognition, and after all, gratefulness for everything that you have done for me, for us, for all those interested and working in that amazingly broad and nevertheless workable, thanks to you, field of the digital studies. Many thanks for that, and enjoy your retirement.
This is Sybil from Stuttgart University that Joe initiated and I think collaborated with us on the glossary project and been a part of our community, and that's thanks to Joe's networking.
Hi Joe, this is Stuttgart calling. I'd just like to say thank you for everything you've done for the Born Digital project and for the glossary to explore digital narratives in the future. It was just amazing to work with you. I remember when you came to Stuttgart to explore some then wild ideas about born digital literature and a living glossary. And that idea to do an online glossary really was something that came along while working together and exchanging ideas. It was an amazing experience and such a pleasure and privilege to work with you. So I wish you all the very best, and I hope that we stay in touch and that we see each other again soon, wherever, maybe in Stuttgart, in Bergen, in the US, who knows. Take care. Thank you so much, and we definitely stay in touch.
Hi Joe, greetings from Regensburg. I was so pleased and at the same time shocked to hear about your retirement, because I can't imagine a world of electronic literature without Joe Tabbi being, around and present. But I have a feeling that you will probably stick around for quite a long time, and I'm looking forward to that. I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank you for everything you've done for the organization, for me, and for so many others as what feels like a lifetime mentor and collaborator. I'll just highlight a few things. We first met properly when you came on board as a mentor of the Leverhulme Digital Fiction International Network with Alice Bell, Dave Chicorico, Christian Rustad, and others. And that was a blast. We met at Sheffield and talked about crucibles and things like that. You also brought me onto the board of directors of the ELO, which I'm very, very grateful for, and I've enjoyed the work immensely, and of course I fondly think back to the time where I was at Bergen as well, and we were working on the ELD and also the ELO Fellows scheme. I utterly enjoyed that. We all have had the pleasure of learning from you and working with you, and your enthusiasm and your dedication to the field has really shaped us all. So have a great time, and everyone in Bergen, enjoy the party. Bye-bye.
Hello, Joe, and hello everyone gathered for the celebration. Heartfelt congratulations on your retirement. I guess I'll be following you into that hopefully blissful state before too much longer. It's difficult to exaggerate what you've done for literature as a field and for electronic literature in particular. Reading fictions as cognitive and extending a critical reading of this kind into a world within which tools for writing were and are being read as themselves cognitive. It wasn't just the ideas you published, you also helped to build the knowledge infrastructure for our field. The Electronic Book Review, the ELO, the Digital Review, and many other initiatives. Here and now, I want to thank you more personally for the friendship and for the support you've given me and my work way back to the earliest emergence of literary art with computation. You pushed me hard to finish and publish a hypertext essay for EBR in 1997. At this early date, you knew that hypertexts could and should be first-class discursive objects, that they could and should be academically, institutionally credited, even when they were composed by so-called independent scholars, who are still too often taken for second-class academic citizens. It's worth saying that you knew what you were doing way ahead of time. The field needed a venue that was peer-reviewed, and you created that situation simply and quite rightly by being and gathering peers, rather than looking so-called up to specious existing authorities. Not only did you push my weird hypertext, its avant-garde skeptical title quoting William Gibson, "Why did people make things like this?" but you also shepherded my most cited critical paper into EBR. The code is not the text unless it is the text, giving me one of my only actual experiences of trying to say something, discovering that many other people thought you were saying something else, not being entirely sure whether they were wrong about this, and then becoming happily certain over time that not only could you have expressed yourself better, you have in the process learned so much more about what you thought you wanted to say then and what you'd rather say now. And now all I want to say is thank you, Joe, and congratulations once again and always.
Greetings from the state of Wisconsin in the United States. I'm Kurt Heinz, one of a handful of people present at the creation, or in my case, maybe shortly thereafter, of the Electronic Literature Organization. I came to electronic literature from a tech background, but Joe, you approached the art of e-lit from what felt like the opposite end of the world to me, as a literary critic and social theorist. I grew up with Fortran and NTSC video. You grew up with Deleuze on your nightstand. My Fortran head didn't always parse the language that e-lit loved to embrace, but you spit it with the best minds, which made you scary good. You and I were like different halves of a gestalt. Then just you and I constituted half of the Chicago School of Electronic Literature, or the Alamo West, as Paul Beaufort liked to say. Rob Wittig and Scott Retberg were, of course, the other half. We and friends consummated it over simmering lamb vindaloo. These and more are lifelong memories for me, and I thank you for being in them. Will my old slam poetry colleagues ever parse this for themselves? They may not, but it's their problem, not mine. Joe Tabbi, my heartfelt congratulations to you on your retirement. The mental liberty and physical rest are due, but while the job is done, the mind should never stop. So now that you're more free to say and write whatever you like, you have whole new chapters before you. Here's to the future, sir. Congratulations again.
Hello, g'day, or kia ora from New Zealand. Congratulations on such a stellar career, and my gratitude to you for all the years. I think EBR was the gateway drug for me. That was my entrance into the electronic literature community. I've appreciated your intellect, your vision, and gratitude for all of the collaborations as well that we've had over the years. It's been quite a few years, I believe, if I try to count back now. But all the very best to you. Thinking of you, I was so pleased when I heard that you had moved to such a beautiful section of the planet, and wish you and your colleagues all the very best with what comes next. So take care. We'll cross paths again, I'm sure.